Yeah, if you plan to live in the middle, please leave now to let people have the full talk.
Okay. Hello? Hello? It is on? Yes. Does it work?
It's muted.
No, it's
But it doesn't. Wait.
Hello?
Can you speak up?
hello, yes.
Hello, hello.
The microphone doesn't like me.
Are you comfortable with the mic?
Yes.
Oh, we can hear you.
Okay.
No.
Okay. Great.
You ready? Okay, so now we're gonna have our next speakers. This is Paula de la Rose. She's talking about the new internet and IPFS.
So, hello. Thanks to be here. I am very excited to be here and to present this topic I really like. I'm also turning 33 years old today, so happy birthday to me. Yes. She already told that I'm a security analyst in my daily life. They're back in Madrid. But that's not my only job, because I also try to investigate about internet censorship, privacy and digital rights. In fact, we have an association there in Spain with more than 700 members called Interferencias, I co-found. It's all about creating events, speeches, and all of that about these topics. So if you have questions about this association, or you are interested in creating a version outside Spain, just tell me, please. We are very glad to have new members. This is our rad logo, so yes. So now, we are going to speak mostly in this speech about IPFS, which is interplanetary file system, which is created by Protocol Labs. I want to explain our context, our digital context, and why we need to start thinking about a new internet, a new way of thinking the internet. Also, I would like to tell you some challenge about security, because in the end that's my main job. Some conclusions, and I would love to hear your questions or suggestions, ideas surrounding these topics. So, what is IPFS? IPFS is a distributed peer-to-peer hypermedia protocol. As I said, it's developed by Protocol Labs, and it's thought to be permanent, resilient, and a way of storing information on the internet without losing efficiency on its way. So basically, how does it work? So have you guys heard about Fahrenheit 451? Maybe it's an amazing book. It's a science fiction story written by Ray Bradbury. So I really don't want to spoil you guys because it's actually one of my favorite books. But I think that it comes in handy to understand what IPFS wants to achieve. So in the book, pictures a society in which books are being burned down by firefighters, and sometimes almost alongside their owners. So society is controlled through media. So in the book, there's a group of rebels that tries to read and learn by heart some books in order not to lose that culture heritage. So if I haven't mistaken, I think this is what IPFS is trying to do. They are trying to save some data which is going to be lost on the internet if we keep using our classic methods and protocols on the internet. So it works through nodes, which conforms an horizontal network, and when a file is uploaded to the network, it is divided into blocks, which have metadata, with information which is used to join again all the parts, all the blocks again, so you can get the file. It uses hash encryption in SHA-1 and other encryption methods. You can see the docs. And users are also able to upload blocks atomically, so you don't need to divide them. Pin data, see information of a file, blocks using command line, and apart from command line, there's a local interface using a web interface and an easy to launch node widget for Firefox. So let's see. So now I'd like to explore our context. So we are in the information age. Actually, internet proved me right. Did you know, guys, that actually the first message on the internet that was sent was low, almost like LO, almost 50 years ago. It was supposed to be login, but the connection broke. So, yeah. So when hours later, the message was sent right. So now there are hundreds of millions of internet users, not only reading but creating content in form of text, pictures, videos, code. So nowadays we trust in tech. We trust in smartphones, devices, computers for almost everything, like from our health to our education or our jobs. So since the internet started, through so many content have lost on the sea of the information. So for that reason, for example, exists the Internet Archive. But it's known that our way of thinking, communication is, it's all about velocity. We want our message and our content to be fast on the internet, and this has a lot of advantages because we can talk to our families or friends even we are so far away. But it also changed the way we think, and this could be, dangerous. It's compromising from the point of view of security, because maybe if you are communicating fast, you don't have enough time to think if this data or this information you are sharing on the internet is actually safe to be shared. I know that you guys are interested in this because you're in the privacy red room, okay? So you're probably very interested in how information is private on the internet. But if you're like me, you probably have encountered a lot of people that says, hey, but what do I care about this? Because, I'm not doing anything wrong. I've heard that sentence a lot. I'm not like doing anything wrong, criminals do. So I don't care if my information is out there. So I think this has a lot to do with velocity on the communications. So Okay. This led up to censorship. The saying that we don't care sometimes about massive surveillance or that kind of problems that are actually pretty huge and common on our current internet situation, censorship is also a huge problem right now in so many countries. Most of the censorship techniques includes like blacklisting or DNS blocking, that kind of stuff. But so even though there are so many countries that are suffering these kind of problems, at the same time, most of us don't really care. I know that most of us, like right here, right now, do care, but when I say yes, I mean like community and users general of the internet, because internet and open source, it's all about empathy. So when we think about ourselves, we are thinking about ourselves in general. That's why I'm in security, and probably that's why many of you are here, because we really want to share stuff in the community. So we really want to take care of the privacy of the ones who really are not caring about it right now, because probably they don't know the situation. So one of the things that I like the most about IPFS, going back to the main point, is that they are aiming to have a user-friendly stuff, so they can offer this kind of service for efficiently saving data on the internet for all the users. So now we have explored our current context. I really want to aim to what all about this new internet. Let's explore the possibilities of a distributed internet and how we can change our daily life. So just wait a moment. So talking about the IPFS, what IPFS can offer to solve these kind of problems. So IPFS is distribute, which is already good because we said it's horizontal. It's an horizontal network. So if we don't have a centralized system, it's easier to be secure, because if one node or two nodes are compromised, it doesn't mean that the rest of us are. It's resilient, so in case of internet censorship problems or in a developing country problems, the internet probably breaks. That doesn't matter, because data could be saved anyway and distributed between other nodes. And also it's open. We are in FOSDEM, so it doesn't, I don't need to explain why that's good. But it's not all about good stuff, because, well, the system of IPFS that I will technically describe more later have difficult names, because their identifications are created with hashes, so it's very difficult to remember. That's not pretty good for normal users or even us. Maybe we should try to note down the links, and that doesn't work very good. So also, as the content created name different hashes for different files, when you change a file or a web page that you already created and your users know, the name also change. There's a couple of solutions given by the official page for this, but they are not pretty good yet, so that's problem two, changing the address of an already known service. Also, in general, distributed systems are not a very intuitive idea for normal users. So when we are trying to reach the current users to use a new internet, we have to first teach them about decentralized system and decentralized philosophy, because if not, probably they are going to mess up. I know that because when I'm working in security, there's a lot of clients that got stuck in services that were so old and they haven't learned the new techniques, and many of the vulnerabilities are because of that. So it could be a big problem in the future if we don't try to educate right in distributed systems. So how does technically works IPFS? So actually set up on the computers is very easy because you only have to download and flip, install and start. I'm speaking about Linux here. This is how the files work. As I said before, we have a file. It works with different blocks. Each block has metadata, and we can also upload blocks instead of files. So this is an example of uploading a file, in this case a ducky. So we upload it and pin it, and then we can get it back with the name of the hash created out of the file. There are some applications already created with this technology. For example, Killcore, which is Deadman's Pedal online, and Brick, which is similar to Git, but using decentralized systems. So we are facing, basically, as we said, two main problems here, like security challenge, socials and technical. Social, because we should really have to stop normalizing censorship. We really have to teach and educate about learning decentralized systems. We really have to understand security, and technology is not magic. And technical, because already right now, for example, IPFS is not very good for storing secrets or passwords or something like that, but we can help it using GPG. We can infect the network, like using files which are corrupt or compromise the node if we are if the servers or the containers for the nodes are not secure. So, for example, encrypting and sending, this will be a kind of for solving the problem of secrets. But you are storing permanently something encrypted on the network. You can infect the network. This is less likely to happen because it requires some social engineering. It's so good that you could build some IPFS node on servers or containers, but servers or containers, as you probably already know, could be compromised. So if the nodes are compromised, if the servers and containers are compromised, the network is. So there are many attacks vulnerabilities that can be done on containers or servers. So if the network is horizontal, that's a problem. So does this mean we should give up on this? Absolutely not. Because this means there's an exciting path to explore right now in front of us. It could be difficult from the point of view social and technologically, but as an open source developers, analysts, admins, it's our responsibility to face these new responsibilities and to help users to use and understand these technologies even more. Thank you.
Any questions?
How do big corporations see the idea of the decentralized internet, knowing that they basically own the internet as we know it today? They own the servers, they own the DNS server, they own everything.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you. Could you please, okay. Higher?
Okay, so how do big corporations see the idea of the decentralized internet?
I really can't hear what he's saying. So.
How do big corporations see this technology?
Corporation?
Corporations, like companies, like Facebook.
How the corporation share this? Okay, so I really don't know. I hope they are pissed off because I'm sorry. If there are some, I just don't like those. But probably they will adjust if these distributed systems really is a thing in the future, because that's what they do in the end, always. But I don't know. I don't know.
Another question?
Can you go a few slides back? Because you showed an example of usage of IPFS. I think it was kill cord and another one. Can you go back to that slide? Because I was wondering,
Yes.
it was quite fast.
Yes.
So what does this break?
Oh, Brick is kind of like Git,
Okay.
but using distributed system.
Right.
Also, kill cord could be used with Ethereum. So yes.
Okay, thanks.
Okay.
So does it also take into account, does it provide an option to make annotations for text if you want to annotate text? And like, does it, is there a way to, right now you get outdated links on the internet if a server goes down. Does it take into account that a link will always keep on working?
So if I understood, so the first question was if you...
Oh, can you annotate text?
Yes. Okay, so you can keep updated using something called DynaSlink, which is explained in the official documentation. So it's like, so the hash change, the hash of the main file change or the web page change, but you can kind of use a previous tag on the link. So when you visit the previous tag, you could keep updated with the rest of the hash. I don't know if I'm explaining right here because the documentation explains with all the examples, but there's a way of keeping updated, but it's not perfect right now.
All right, thank you.
Hi, Paula. Thank you for introducing IPFS to us. What would be the one thing that you would like to see on IPFS that is not there today?
Well, as already mentioned, I think, well, you said about IPFS? Like,
Yeah, IPFS. Like, what would be the feature or example or application that you would like to see built with that technology that doesn't exist today?
I think I would love to have a really stable social network with IPFS because, you know, we have Mastodon and such in exchange or of Twitter and stuff, but like having this philosophy of not losing data, we will need us to change our way we think about social networks because we will be more careful about what we post on the internet. So I would love to see that.
Awesome, thank you.
Yeah, two things. I asked myself what happens if the last peer goes down who has my files. Maybe you could just quickly mention the pinning and the pinning services because that might be useful. And another thing about Mastodon, which is based on ActivityPub, my personal opinion is, I did a demo last week on Indie Web Week, ActivityPub plus IPFS. I think that plays really well together. and IPFS could just become an alternate storage system for ActivityPub. What I missed was the pinning, pinning and pinning services.
So,
Did you get it?
yes, but they are telling me that time's up. So if you guys are ready, so if you have a question, please ask me right now because they are telling me to stop right now. So.
Sorry.
Thank you for attending, and don't forget to leave constructive feedback on the website for each speaks you see in FOSDEM. Thanks.
Ja, ja, ja.
Estás no capital grande da Foz da Manão?
Telefone, porque estava ligado ao meu telefone português. Então, o que é um jogo? Disse jogo?
Ele estava ontem e depois deve chegar aí muito ligado. Sei lá, um Wi-Fi para a Paula.
We need a speaker.
Tu connais la présentation karaoké? Présentation en ligne?
So you